Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. By the way, real quick, yes, there is a bandage on. Yes, that thing on my neck is now gone. Cut, stitched, on its way. So just wanted to point that out so you don't have to write me 2,000 comments wondering what the hell's going on here. With that said, we're with Ryan, we're up at Kibbetech. We're about to shoot this really cool pre-runner, and we're gonna do this in 2 parts. We're gonna talk about the truck with Ryan, and then the owner of the vehicle, Logan's gonna jump in and we're gonna go do some fun stuff together. So talking off camera, I asked you how long it's been completed. Not that long. You said like end of 22 you guys finished this
out. A little over a year, I think. So it's got some battle wounds on it already. It gets used.
Yes, I saw like the right side. I like that he actually takes it out and has fun with it, you can tell. I know the hot rod world really well. The off-road world is very new to me in a sense. I mean, this, I look at it and I go, I think there's a Chevy truck under there somewhere. I mean, I see the bow tie up here, but obviously there's a lot of exterior work. But let's start with, is there anything left of the original framework, or is it all you guys?
Basically from the original truck, it just kept snowballing to more. I mean, the truck came in running, driving truck. The more we dug into it, the more we cut out and started redoing. So there's about, let's say from here to under the driver's seat, there's that much frame left from the original truck.
Oh, really?
And then everything else is custom one-off for this truck. And then we got a donor cab, but basically from that, everything else is all brand new.
And when you say custom framework, it's all you guys in-house building your own chassis, doing your own cage work, like you guys do.
Yeah, everything on this whole truck was all built in-house.
You guys do your own A-arms too. You were showing me over in the other room.
Yeah, so on this side over here, we have CNC machines where we machine all our billet parts. So we got lathe, 3-axis mill, 5-axis machine. And then on this side, we have a laser cutter and CNC press brake. So we pretty much manufacture everything. Yeah. And then we'll buy, you know, shocks and tires and bolts and stuff like that, stuff that we don't make.
Can we pop the hood, see what's see what we got going underneath?
We'll start there.
Is it a 2-man job or is it a 1-man? Yeah, I figured you'd do something like that. Wow. Engine stuffed way back, huh?
Yeah, so it moved back a little bit from where it would be, and then it's a LS3 418 stroker. Molnix Racing Engines built it. It's got ID Designs front drive. It's got big billet alternator, billet power steering pump, billet Mazier water pump, Holley intake manifold that we actually cut the flange back. And that was kind of interfering with our radiator placement and figuring out our intake tubes here. So we actually CNC machined our own flange for the intake, brought it back up, and then built a split intake here with 2 of these UMP canisters that we kind of modified with the mesh here. And then,
again, you guys are building all this in-house, yeah?
Yeah, so all this is just one-off, all these brackets handmade, all this stuff handmade, all the tubes handmade, and then there's some like stuff that we CNC machine, like our engine little crossbar here, that's just like a one-off machine part that we made. Our billet bump stop caps, kind of a one-off machine part.
So I learned yesterday, you'll laugh at me, it's probably standard for you guys, stuff like this so that you're keeping rocks from not flying through. I mean, it's also a decorative piece, but it's like functional for you.
Yeah, so we'll do a lot of aluminum panels, and we don't want to just do solid aluminum panels where it like traps heat, but we also want to keep everything kind of protected. So we'll do a lot of mesh paneling. We got a piece on the front here just to kind of protect stuff from going in the radiator.
Oh, yeah.
You know, behind the headlights is all these like aluminum buckets right here, you know, to protect the back of the lights. Say this tire throws up a rock, blows out the back of the OEM headlight. So it's actually is OEM headlight and grille. And then when you close the hood, all these panels line up with the tubing here, and that helps direct all the air into the radiator. And then the inside of the glass is all Linexed as well to keep the fiberglass from spider cracking. So there's a lot of detail work like that.
Do you make your body panels in-house?
So the fiberglass is from Fiberworks, and then we had someone modify it all because it just didn't work and some things weren't lining up right. So we just had a bunch of body work done to it to try to make it fit what we needed. A lot of work into this to make it kind of unique to this truck. And this is like pretty much one-of-one clip for this body style truck. The original starter truck was like, I think it was a 99 Chevy 1500.
Got it.
And this is a 2004 Chevy 1500 cab.
Got it.
So this runs like a full King shock package. The front's a 12-inch stroke, 2.5 coilover, and then a 3.5 5.2 bypass, and then a 2.5-inch bump stop that hits off the upper arm in the best possible location that you can run that. So this thing will bottom out 3 inches off the ground. It's got a bunch of up travel, nice low center of gravity. You can go around corners really fast in this thing, and you just feel really stable and really safe.
How much travel would there be in front and rear on this?
21 in the front, and I believe the rear's at 28.
Your engine, what's that making power-wise?
So I think it's about 650 at the crank, and I want to say it's just shy of let's just say 369 at the rear tires.
Got
so
it.
we lose a ton of power.
You lose a lot, don't you?
You know, it's a 4L80 with a big converter, 2-piece driveline, 10-inch third member, 40 spline axles, 39-inch tires. So all that stuff just means
just eats horsepower up.
Just right off the top.
Wow. And usually, like hot rods, you're used to 15 to 20 between auto and
small
manual.
tires,
Sure.
small axles,
No, I get it, dude. Yeah. And obviously, two-wheel drive. So that's, I'm learning this one, obviously, is, again, I think of trucks and you go, oh, well, if you're going off-road, you want four-wheel drive. But you don't actually, do you? You want two-wheel rear.
Yeah, so most of the pre-runners, everything is two-wheel drive. We're doing some newer stuff that's going to be four-wheel drive, but it's not really like pre-runner type like this. Technology hasn't been there to get the front drive components to live. That's kind of changing nowadays with portals and all the different stuff you can do in the front. You know, if you want a four-wheel drive pre-runner like this, basically just add $150,000 to the cost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Curious exhaust-wise too, because this is one of the few that I've heard that it's plenty loud. Like I heard it as he was moving the truck around.
And once it gets in RPM, it
comes up a lot. Huh?
Yeah. So we built all of it from front to back. So it's our custom headers, custom exhaust with an X pipe. It was complicated to get from the inside of the frame, over the frame, around the coilover, and then out the bedside in that location. So there's it kind of snakes through, but it's nice and crisp, and it's not too loud just sitting there idling.
Yeah.
But once you get on it and it's in 5,500 RPM and you're way up there, it sounds super nice.
Yeah, so you got a ton of room for the up travel.
Yeah, basically once it's bottomed out, pretty sure it tucks beadlock ring, so it gets way up in there.
Jeez, man. Wow.
And this is just a pre-runner, it's a toy, it's not a race truck. So maybe if it were a race truck and something you're really just beating on, we'd probably have it maybe 2 inches taller than where it's at.
Got it.
But
you're not.
It's just a pre-runner, it's a toy, it's weekend toy, it's got a surfboard on it.
Yeah, which by the way, you guys, we're gonna talk about the surfboard and why, and some of the other things that I know Logan was pretty specific about on building this truck.
Yeah, there's a lot of things at first glance you probably wouldn't notice, like the mirrors. From the front of the truck or the side, you just see a mirror, but this is a full custom, handmade mirror that's made from steel, sheet metal, and then we put like a convex style mirror in there. You see a lot of like the $1 million pre-runners that the guys are racing trophy trucks and stuff, and
they got a plastic mirror.
They'll pull up and the mirrors are just gone. This is a ask by Logan and Murph, just make something that we don't have to replace every time we go out. So, I mean, we probably have a week in making these mirrors.
Wow.
All handmade, cardboard templates, old school way, make them. They still bolt on like how an OEM mirror would bolt on from the inside with the 3 bolts.
Is it still controllable to be able to adjust your mirror electronically?
It is not, but that would be cool. We actually made this little pull tab right here that bolts onto the mirror.
Oh, that's super cool.
So you can
it makes it super easy to just grab and adjust.
Yeah, so you grab this little piece.
Dude, it's those little things like that I personally love about custom builds. And I hate it when the thought doesn't go into it and somebody builds something like this, spends a week doing it and goes, oh shit, I can't adjust the mirror now.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys, for any of you that are questioning how it is that the dollar amounts get so extraordinary, because I'm guessing just from a quick look at this, there's hundreds of thousands into this truck.
Yes.
But anyone that wonders, you look and you go, yeah, that's a week. Yeah. That's a lot of man hours.
People are like, oh, you sell those? Like, I want those. I'm like, I don't think you do. Imagine shop rate times 40-something hours plus parts material.
No, I get it.
And there's a lot of stuff on this truck that's like the mirrors. That's, let's just say the mirrors, the cup holders, and the door panels will probably 5 weeks just in those 3 things.
So show me some of the other one-off unique, because I know like this has got to be one of them, right, for his surfboard?
So yeah, the surfboard rack, that's definitely the one that jumps out at you that's right here to look at. He wanted obviously somewhere to hold his boards. I came up with this little rack we made there that actually straps in with the spare tire Y-strap. So if you don't want it on there, you just undo the strap, take the thing off, and then you just have your spares. And then there's actually half of the box is on a hinge. Thing opens, then you notice in there you can put your wetsuit or whatever you want in there. There's that little storage area in that box. So
that's so cool. So this is your fuel cell.
Yeah,
your fuel cell is integrated into this.
I just call it like a radius fuel cell. So it's radiused that perfectly matches, up to like a 40-inch tire. So
and these are 39s, you said?
And these are 39s, yes. Mm-hmm. So basically you fit 2 spares in there and you got 86 gallons of fuel. And then there's 2 in-tank Weldon fuel pumps. And there's check valves in them so they don't backflow to each other and all that. And then another cool thing in the back, just kind of one off to this truck.
Just starting to notice that. That's bitching.
So each side has its own storage compartment. So the jack is on this side, the other side has spare oil.
That's so cool, man.
So yeah, a lot of cool like one-off stuff like this. And then,
Plus it really
just,
exposes what's going on underneath.
this is also a lot of custom work here.
Yeah.
Basically just make this bedside attach all the way to the chassis with no openings here to where you don't blow out your back window with a rock every time you take the truck out. So these are super cool. These cool little latches here, they just like that.
That's slick, dude.
Quick release, fire extinguishers on each side and the back. So that's cool. Little Motec backup camera here.
That's pitching.
Another cool thing we did here was, you look at this shock tower support here. This is actually a chunk of 4130 chromoly that we machined. So you actually pinch it right here. You can actually tell that it's about 300 thou thick.
Wow, yep. What's the filler there?
So that blue cap right there, blue indicates water. So there's a water tank in here. It's I think about 17 gallons. And then it's hooked to a pump, and then there's an outlet with a quick release on the back corner that you hook your hose up to and you take a shower. So say down
Very good reason for this, given that Logan's a hardcore surfer.
Yeah, so say you're down in Mexico, you're out bombing around in the truck, you go in the ocean, you want to hose off before you get into the Italian leather. You don't want to get that all messed up, and then that's why you take a shower before you get in. And then that storage area under the board, you put your wet towel in there and keep going.
You guys have really thought through.
And the paint protection that's on everything, there's PPF on the cage tubes and the GPS screens, and like everything's got some sort of protection on it. All the anodize on the billet parts is polished, acid dipped to dull the material, and then clear anodize. So there's 3 steps involved in just anodizing the billet parts that we made. So like the beadlock ring, same thing. So that offers a nice protection to it. So those are from Innovate, updated them with the new rings and stuff, and then stainless ARP bolts on the beadlocks. So those aren't gonna corrode and turn to shit. The whole chassis is powder coated. So once we were done with it, the whole truck went to media blast and powder coat. The whole thing's powder coated. And then after that, it went to paint. And like the paint quality, you should have seen it. Well, obviously it's been used now, but my buddy Jared at Valley Customs that does the paint, like he usually paints Harleys and a lot of custom stuff, and he does all the trucks we do, and it's like show quality hot rod paint on something you're gonna go beat the crap out of. And then the whole truck was PPF wrapped. A buddy Tyler here at American Wrap Co. did the whole thing. Every piece of hardware on this thing that's a main suspension pivot is 12-point aircraft hardware. So we get all these from RPI, and they're all 12-point. They're all perfectly shanked, so there's no thread inside of the mount. All the thread is after the mount, so there's no weak point in any of the hardware. Never had a failure with any of their bolts ever pivot.
So you can imagine there's decent cost to that one bolt.
Yeah.
That's not a 30-cent.
By the time you're done to do a truck, you're like $5,000 in bolts. And that's not like every bolt on, that's suspension pivots and shocks.
Wow.
And then we'll show you the inside, which gets pretty wild over here.
You gotta be kidding me, come on.
Just stick your head in there and take a whiff. Tell me what that smells like.
Smells like Ferrari.
Yeah, so it's all
really
genuine Italian leather. So it's not like the cheap stuff. The material alone for the interior was pretty extensive, but Todd at Expert Auto Upholstery, this is the first truck he did for us, and now he's getting all the rest of them because this one came out so good.
Dude, this alone, this is you guys doing all this wrapping in your cage work and stuff down here.
Basically the whole cab was skinned, so we basically only used the rockers and the roof. And basically there was just a shell, and we just put that shell over the truck, and then we sheet metaled it all in. The interior is kind of a mixture of luxury and like the floor is just Linex. So it's just kind of durable, saturated with dirt.
Dude, you have an electric actuator for your friggin' seat.
And then,
come on.
Yes, there's electric actuators on the 2 front seats. And then these are actually Sparco seats, which Todd made all of this stuff for us. He even wrapped the hard shell.
Come on.
It's got suede and leather.
This is so sick. What a killer interior, man.
And then headliner, I didn't want any exposed hardware, and we wanted to see half the cage.
Oh, that's just so cool.
And it's got tilt column, so this is all nice and tight. Quick releases kind of jiggle a little bit.
Yeah.
So big Holley 12-inch here, so it's got a Holley ECU, and then it's got all Motec PDMs and Motec keypads.
Wow.
And then you can see it from over there. These big, giant copper cup holders.
Here comes a public service announcement. We're not publicly suggesting that you should drink Modelo and drive.
It's similar size to a big gulp.
Why copper?
I think maybe its properties in it might hold a little more coolness, a little better.
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
So
I can go with
underneath, actually, there's one of the air conditioning ducts is routed to the bottom of the cup holder.
To blow cold
and
air.
it blows cold air on that copper to keep all of that cold. So when your drink's sitting in there, it stays cold.
That's cheap.
And if you look down inside, we machined it to where it steps down, so it actually fits a regular size cup. So it's like a double register in the cup holder.
Another one of those things that it would drive me
one.
nuts if your cup holder was that big and you drop a regular old bottle. I mean, that,
So that, like a regular size can or whatever bottled water, it'll fit right in the bottom and sit in there tight.
Dude,
so
I
that's
love
another
that you
one of
think through all these
those requests, like the mirrors. That chunk of copper was $1,000, sitting
Now
on
we're
the
gonna
table doing nothing.
machine
And now
it.
we got to design this whole system and a top plate out of copper and make this all bolt together seamlessly without like a top lip. There's actually an entire billet aluminum saddle underneath with 2 struts, and the whole thing clamps together. So it's like this engineering marvel to put a cup holder in a truck.
I love the guy that's willing to fund this being done. I genuinely do, you know, and then I love that there's guys like you out here and your crew. When you get the right client, we can go all the way there if you're willing to pay for it.
Exactly.
But that you
Like,
actually
we can do it,
go
and this
that
is
deep.
proof that we can.
Yes.
Communications in here, so race radio, intercom. And if you recognize this lid right here, if you've ever been in a Gen 1 Raptor,
That's what it is.
that's what that is right there.
This whole console is custom, and then he grabbed that door.
Yeah, so we
and
built it around
reupholstered
that.
to fit
Yeah.
it. Bitchin'.
And then that whole console actually unbolts out of the truck. So this plate I made here for the shifter kind of ties the dash and the console together, and then there's a bunch of perimeter bolts, and then this whole console can come out.
I heard something about the clock in this
Yes,
truck.
that's like an analog clock, and it's out of like a World War II plane. Found a guy that refurbishes them and, you know, makes them work or whatever. But I think every now and then you gotta like wind it up or something like that. But
It's actually tracking accurate time, isn't it?
That's
It's like right there.
pretty freaking accurate time right now.
That's amazing, man. Is this fairly common in pre-runners to do a 3-seat?
Yeah, so there's not enough room for 4 seats. I'm wearing boots right now, but it's fairly easy to get in.
Oh yeah.
And then you're kind of cozy right there and home.
Of course, you got your fire extinguisher inside as well, and
Door panels, that's another one. Custom door panels, and then we did extinguishers on both back doors. So this thing actually has 4 handheld extinguishers and a suppression system. And I think it blasts one over like the engine and then one like in the trans tunnel area.
you guys made the door panels, and then your guy covered them.
Yeah, so these are all aluminum, and then they're all wrapped in that same leather. And then if you look, the bead roll actually goes through the doors.
To match up to the cage.
So when the doors are closed, here, you can look at that right there. All the bead rolls line up with the
Locked
cage.
into the cage.
And the bead rolls line up with each other on the front and rear panels.
Wow, that's got to be a lot of.
Yeah, and if you look at this, the armrest,
I just saw that.
so look when we close the door,
I just saw that.
the armrest lines up with the dash. You know, manual door locks there. There's actually, so these are kind of hidden under here. And then,
Is that how
The
you
AC
open and
vents.
close your vents?
yeah, just twist it. There's another one under there, and guess where that
I
one?
see it.
Guess where that one points?
That's great. You never get overly bad ball sweat. I love it.
Yeah, double ball vents going on with the AC system. So there's a lot of ducting
That's-
in this thing because there's, you know, those 6, and then there's the defrosters and the one pointing at the cup holder.
And is this more storage here?
Yeah, each side has it. So you hit that latch.
Sick.
And there's actually, because you haven't seen any batteries yet because they're under the back and you can't see them, that side's got jumper posts in it. So if you get a dead battery, open up the panel on that side,
You can at least get a jump
hook your
on
jumper
it.
cables up to it and jump the truck.
Great.
I'm sure we're missing 100 other things. but,
Oh, I'm sure we are. And the truth is, we could probably spend 4 hours talking about it,
Oh, yeah.
pulling body panels and showing everything. But I think it gives the viewer a general sense of how much thought has been put into every aspect. So you're safe. You can go pound the hell out of it, drive it on the street, drive it on the dirt, like do all that stuff. But you get to do it in relative comfort. Right on. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much. And I know there's more, dude. I mean, bitchin' truck. All right, let's get Logan. All right, you guys, so we've gone through the details of the truck with Ryan, so you get an understanding of how insane this is. But the crazier one is Logan. Why don't you give these guys the inspiration behind not just the truck itself, but some of the specific components you added to it?
Yeah, my name's Logan. This is Ply Modelo, and this is basically your luxury pre-runner that Kibby built me, and it's crazy. I live in Malibu. I'm a surfer, so my big thing is surfing, like every day. We kind of did a couple things to cater to the surf world.
Like you drive this down to the beach, go surf.
Yep.
Rinse off with your. Can we see it? Is it hard to see the shower?
No, it's right back here. Let's check it out. So it's got a constant duty pump in the back. With the battery on, you flip a switch, you just hose off. So I mean, big thing about surfing is you want to hose off when you get out.
No, I get it. And he said, what did he say? 17 gallons it holds?
It's 17, 18 gallons. It's a stainless steel tank up there, and it's just plumbed out the back.
Are you able to heat it so you're taking a warm shower?
You know, I think the exhaust pipe runs pretty close to it, so it does get pretty warm.
And this whole thing too, like, so you told him, I want to be able to carry a surfboard, figure it out?
Yeah, this kind of rack setup is tied into the kind of the Y straps. Yeah, and the board kind of straps in, and it's actually really stout. And then your dry bag goes inside here with your wetsuit. To be honest with you, like surfing and like off-roading they go hand in hand, to me at least.
Yeah.
Kind of that speed, power, flow. That's kind of my dream, and that's what Ryan built. And you know, I'm really stoked that we actually got something put together, and we'll go use it today.
I'm excited about this. By the way, you guys, we are going to go do some driving. Logan and I are going to go for a cruise. We'll talk some more. It's fun getting to know you, to be honest with you, man. We're going to go drive, you guys. We're going to do something a little different today, in that we're going to go down to the beach. Logan's a hardcore surf guy. He's trying hard to get me in the water. You notice I did point this thing out earlier. I'm not allowed to get it wet, you know, and the water is like, what, 40 degrees probably?
It's like 55. It's not that cold.
Not gonna happen, but we are gonna go for a drive. So let's go do that part. And I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to riding in this thing, and I'm gotta be honest, this teeny little board that's what, just slightly larger than a boogie board?
It looks like a wakeboard. It's small, but yeah, it's like, I think it's like 5'5". It's a Lost, a Redux, sick. Yeah, we'll go out there, we'll go rip it. It'll be cool.
Bitchin'. Let's go do it. Just that, it's an instant smile from me over here.
There's smiles for miles on this.
Seriously, because you ain't getting good fuel mileage, so you better get a lot of smiles.
Oh man.
I didn't ask him that. What do you get, like 5 miles to the gallon or something dumb like that?
Honestly, I have no clue. I don't even know. It depends on how heavy your foot is.
I mean, this has got to look like a complete freak show rolling down here.
Yeah. What are you guys doing?
You know? Like, you're not allowed to be out here in that thing.
You're doing a lot of this. Yeah, it's nothing like getting some cool looks from, you know, cool people.
Yeah, man, this interior, what an amazing job they did on this.
Oh, dude.
I mean, it is slick. When was the last time you drove this?
I was out at, actually in like the Lancaster area, like probably like a month and a half ago. You know, it was just to get it out in the dirt. It wasn't like super exciting, but anytime you drive this though, you're having a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure, man.
Just taking my lady out to go to dinner or like, you know, it's nice to do with my wife. You know, she really appreciates all the hard work and stuff. So.
I'm curious, was this World War II clock? Was that something you wanted to work into it?
That's something my buddy Murph, he kind of came up with that idea. I wanted a clock, but he's the one who's like, hey, let's put this World War II clock in. You know, my grandpa flew in World War II in the B-24 Liberators, so it was kind of an ode to him. It's timeless, you know?
Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. But it actually cruises nice going down the road, dude.
And it's nice with this because you got overdrive, so you got 4th gear.
Yep.
Just kind of cruises at high speed.
You don't know you're rolling down the road in a gigantic freaking monster.
She does well on the street, but man, the dirt is where it lives, you know, that's the...
Yeah, of course, sure. Curious on the surfing side, since that's what we're gonna go do. Have you already surfed today?
You know, I would have early, but I woke up to go get the truck.
Got it.
But I did actually yesterday evening. Was small but fun. I got a few runners, and it's all it takes is surfing, man. All you need is really one decent wave, and you're good. You just makes your day that much special. You come home, you know, it's like energy, man. That salt water is it's so like therapeutic. I wish everybody kind of knew how healing it is. I love it.
Yeah.
It keeps me
obviously,
looking
man.
young. I think I feel younger.
That's cool. We all got our things,
We're heading to the ocean now, and it's a little overcast today. Got a big storm moving in tomorrow, and the waves are going to get really, really solid for like a good week. So I'm really stoked as a surfer coming up.
What beach are we going to right now?
Yeah,
Where are we going to start?
We're going to start off at Magoo, and then
Okay.
we're going to head south, and it's Ventura County, and we're going to hit County Line where it enters into LA County.
Yep.
Neptune's Net's right there. It's
Yep.
from Point Break, the movie. Famous little spot, but it's a spot that I surf a lot. It's kind of it's a popular spot, but it's not the best way in the world, but it's fun. I have a good
Yeah.
time. I've got a lot of good friends out there. I know a lot of people.
Oh, right on.
I'm gonna get off right here.
Yeah.
This truck was in the beginning, and it had wiring issues. Now it's all wired by like marked wire guys, so this thing's like the wiring's all labeled, mil spec, just so nice.
Yeah. Oh, everyone around you just hates you right now.
It's pissing people off.
I want to see. Oh, that guy wasn't bad. He was just pretending like you don't exist.
Exactly. Yeah, you either love it or hate it, I guess, right? I don't know.
I'm one of those guys. I hear a big loud V8 and I'm instantly happy about the day.
Oh, it just sounds so good.
It really does.
It doesn't have a boatload of horsepower, man. It's like a mild sauce in a way with some spice, but
Yeah,
it's reliable. Sounds good. Some guys want 1,000 horsepower. I'm not, cool. I like what I got. I think I'm getting 370 of the tire in this thing. Still plenty.
Which is crazy to me, by the way. I didn't know. It shows how much I don't know about off-roading. I didn't know that you lose that much power from like he said, it's 650 at the crank, but by the time it hits the tire, that's a lot of loss. But I hear you, dude. It's different strokes for everyone, right? But I like the 1,000 horsepower world for me. All it does is it lets me know a lot of shit's gonna break. I'm not gonna be super reliable, and it's a lot of power to manage.
It's a lot of power to manage. They can always use a little more, but hey, I just want to have a good time. And that's what's in here, and that's what we built. You can always change that stuff later.
You can. I mean, it's not hard to add, especially you got an LS. It's not hard to, well, let's put a blower on there, and now we got our power, turbos, whatever.
Yeah. I love keeping these things naturally aspirated because you can really pop the nose up and you get that extra belt in there. It gets a little tricky sometimes, but
I'm with you. I'm a big fan of NA motors. I knew you were going to do that.
might piss a couple people off.
Hell yeah.
It's just dust.
This one was a blast to shoot today, you guys. Logan's amazing, Ryan the builder's amazing, the truck is a complete knockout. Top it off, we end up here at Neptune's Net, watching Logan jump in the water, surf a bit. Exceptional day shooting. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, a big thanks for hanging and watching what we do, and I'll see you in the next episode. All right, man. Later.